This video is sponsored by me. Hey guys, it's Drake here. So the ban on incandescent light bulbs was just lifted in the United States. So I figured I'd take advantage of the opportunity and buy the most powerful incandescent light bulb to ever be made for commercial production. So this bad boy is rated for 24,000 watts. And of course, I plan on pushing it even further than that. Now I have to say, I never would have expected to be so excited to play with an incandescent light bulb of all things, but at these powers, I think it's guaranteed to be a good time. So yeah, let's get started. And here's the monster in all of its glory. Gosh, it's hard to even get the whole thing in frame there. But as you can see, it is indeed a 24,000 watt light bulb. Of course, the real highlight are these filaments there. Look how thick they are. That's insane. And that's tungsten, so that's like a sizable chunk of tungsten in there. I've never seen anything like it. I'm almost terrified to power it up. Now, I really need to give you a sense of scale and just how thick that filament is. So, I've got a 100 watt bulb right here. So, if you take a look at this filament, you can barely see this. And this is 100 watts, so it's like, that's a fairly powerful light bulb. And it's just hair thin. You can barely see it. And just in case you couldn't see it earlier, this is 100 watts, and this is 24,000. So quite a size difference. These bulb pins fit into a G38 socket like I've mounted right here. But there's one problem. This bulb takes 100 amps, and this thing's only rated for 40. But I looked all over the internet, and I could not find a socket that was actually rated for the full current. So I guess I'm just gonna have to yellow it and hope it doesn't explode. All right, let's chuck her in there. Oh geez, is it even gonna fit? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, it like barely wants to go in. I wanna break this. Oh yeah, there it goes. Oh, it's really tight. Wow, okay. I guess you don't want any wiggle room when you have all this current going through it. You want to keep that contact resistance down. But geez, it's really, really biting on that. Yep, okay, there it is. Wow. Yep, that's quite a socket there. You know, when I impulse bought this silly thing, I just kind of expected to slap 240 volts across it and call it a day. Because how hard can it be to drive an incandescent light bulb, right? Then I remembered that light bulbs do a funny thing where their starting current is a lot higher than their operating current. And that's just because as the filament gets hot, its resistance grows and then it draws less current. Now, for a reasonably sized light bulb, that's not that big of a deal. But for a light bulb like this, it's basically a dead short. In fact, its cold filament resistance is something like just a little over 1/10 of an ohm, which means it's going to draw more than 2,000 amps on startup. That's a 0.5 megawatt. I mean, my breakers can't handle that. They would explode. So that means I have to come up with some sort of like soft start circuit to like slowly bring it up to temperature just so I can turn this stupid thing on. I'm going to start by ramping this thing up on my Variac over here. Now, this thing isn't nearly big enough to run it at full power, but I at least want to see how far I can take it, so it's a start. All right, let's give her some juice there. Oh yeah, I can hear that hum. All right, let's slowly ramp it up here. Oh no, look at this. I'm barely turning it, it's already pulling 50 amps. It's not even glowing either. Oh, they're just barely starting to glow, and it's pulling, okay, now the current's dropping, but still 30 amps. Barely any voltage on that, and it's just barely glowing. So I guess we'll crank it a little bit higher, give her back to 50. Oh my gosh. I can already start feeling the heat there. It's, oh my gosh. Look at this. It's my meter, or my Variac is not rated for this kind of current, but I'm barely driving this thing. So now I'm at 5,000 watts, and and oh my gosh, I feel so much heat from that. Look at that. It just pegged out. This thing's gonna melt. Oh no. Oh, that's making so much light. Oh my gosh. Oh, this thing's gonna explode. What is that? about 6,500 watts. It's so warm too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this thing's gonna melt. I gotta kill it. Wow. So now the power's off, and that's just the residual heat in the filament. That is insane. I'm clearly gonna have to do something else for driving this thing to full power though. But wow. I threw together this little dimmer circuit here. It's nothing fancy, just a little chopper circuit based on a couple SCRs. Now, I know this thing can handle the bulb when it's at full power. It's just the startup where things could get a bit spicy. So I guess I'll just slap 240 volts across it and hope it works. Oh, and I added a couple meters here. This is just a thermometer to make sure that these heat sinks don't get too hot because they're probably too small, honestly. And I also have this ammeter here to measure the current. And it just picks it up via this current transformer with this wire going through it. Yes, it's a beautiful enclosure there, isn't it? All right, moment of truth. Oh, good. At least it holds back the voltage. Now let's try ramping this thing up. I know if I hit this too quickly, it's just going to explode, so I got to take it real slow. Oh, geez, this is horrifying. Just waiting until there's the smallest bit. Oh, there it goes. Wow, I can hear it too. Get a little bit more. Oh. It is still not glowing yet. That is just insane. I've never put this amount of current through something without it glowing. Okay, there it goes. Just starting to turn red. There's 40 amps. It's so scary cranking this thing up. Now we're at 50. So this is about where I got with my Variac. Oh, it's getting bright. I'm just waiting for this thing to violently explode. Oh my gosh, look how much light that is. And there it is, 70 amps. It's pulling 70 amps. Look how much light there is. This is just ridiculous. It's so hot all the way back here even. Look at this. But this isn't even half power. It's more than half current. It's not half power. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Now we're up to... Oh my gosh, it's so bright. Wow. Oh shoot, what happened? Did I kill it? Oh, of course. It's because I'm on I tripped the breaker. Well, this is annoying. This is getting more complicated than I wanted it to, but I guess my next move is to wire something directly into the panel. I think that sign means good times to be had in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is gonna be fun. There it goes. All right, I got that safely wired up there. However, I'd like to make a quick comment about these range outlets that I'm using. Now, I can already foresee comments from electricians going, oh, that's a 50 amp rated range cord. You can't put 100 amps to that. Yeah, well, watch me. So let me clarify. If you're the type of electrician that immediately recognizes that I'm exceeding the ratings of this cord, good eye. You are the type of person that I would want wiring my house. Seriously. However, if you think that some silly electrical code supersedes the laws of physics, well, you're mistaken. I can put 100 amps through this cord. I can put 1,000 through it. Although, of course, that would quickly melt it and catch it on fire. But at 100 amps, I mean, yeah, it's going to get pretty toasty. But it's not like I'm sticking this thing behind a wall to run continuously and unsupervised. No, this is just for some relatively short runs under my supervision. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It explodes? Who cares? So yeah, don't wire your house this way, but I want to see your complaining about this in the comment section, okay? And on a similar note, just because these disconnect switches are rated for 30 amps does not mean it actually limits the current to that. The amount of people that watched my microwave video, saw me boil a cup of water in 6 seconds, then have the audacity to call the 20 kilowatt number fake because of this switch right here was ridiculous. I mean, yes, it's rated for 30 amps. I simply put 80 amps through it. I don't know why it's so hard to understand that I'm simply abusing these ratings, because there is nothing physical that stops me from putting that kind of current through this switch. Of course, other than the risk of catastrophic failure, which is a risk that I'm willing to take. But I mean, I tend to build things in a hurry with stuff I already have on hand. And that's why there's all this underrated stuff in my lab. But I should point out that there's always something up the line that is rated to disconnect these kinds of currents. So if something explodes or fails catastrophically, it's no big deal for me to run up and kill a breaker. But yeah, stop calling my stuff fake because of some stupid electrical codes. Anyway, rant over. Let's burn our retinas out. Breaker on. Nothing's exploded yet. Good. Alrighty, let's see if we can make it to 100 amps this time. I got my silly little control panel here. Again, I got to be pretty slow with the initial startup just because it's, I got to be careful with my switch there. Okay. This is where it gets fun, right? And I'm still back up at 50 amps. Oh, this is gonna be crazy here. Keep pushing it further. Wow, so much light. Look at that. It's already illuminating everything. And we still have so much more to go. There's 70. There's 80. Oh my gosh, it's like I lit a nuke in here. It's hard to set the exposure on something like this. But wow, look at the shadows in that. I can feel the heat so strongly back here too. All right, can we go to 100? Oh my gosh, there's so much light coming out of this. Oh, we're so close. Wow, oh my gosh, it's so hot. I'm gonna have to set my ND filters just so you can see this. There it is, there's full power. Wow. Look, isn't that incredible? Look how much light. Look how much light that is. Way back there. Oh my gosh. There's a full 100 amps. My goodness. Oh, it's so bright. It feels like I'm staring at the sun. There's so much heat coming off of that. Look at that. It's incredible. There's so much light. And it's quiet now just because now the circuit's not chopping anything, so it just passes the current straight through, and now it's quiet. But wow, that's just wild. I'm gonna there's the full. That's what it really looks like, and I'm gonna turn it off. So there's no power going to it, and that's just the residual heat. Man, that is a lot of light. Wow. Now don't get me wrong. I could stare at this light bulb all day, but at this point I think it's worth trying some experiments with it. So the fact that this is an incandescent light bulb means that it's not very efficient at making visible light. However, it's really good at making infrared light. In fact, most of the electrical power that goes into this thing actually comes back out as invisible IR radiation, so it's probably really good at heating things up. And gosh, if I'm lucky, it may even be able to light some things on fire, which would really make it the ideal light bulb. The envelope on this bulb here is not normal glass. It's actually fused quartz. And while this allows it to operate at super high temperatures, it means that absolutely nothing can get on it when it's running. Even something like a fingerprint can cause it to shatter. So this means if I want to do any stupid experiments with it, I'm going to have to build an enclosure around it. I came up with this beautiful fixture here that should allow for some experimentation. So I have an aluminum reflector here. I have this mesh on top and bottom to keep the bugs out, as well as this pane of borosilicate glass to prevent stuff from splashing against the bulb. And then this will also have the function of blocking most of the UV that the bulb makes. So yeah, let's do some experiments. Now, unfortunately, I had to add yet another feature to this driver here. Because these SCRs were getting too hot, now I have this relay short them out after it's at full power. Now, I really hope this is the final edition because I am sick of adding things to this stupid driver. When I powered up the fixture, it started smoking from somewhere. I couldn't tell what was burning, but I figured it might be bugs, so I stuffed steel wool in the cracks and added more copper mesh around the base. However, this didn't stop the smoking. In fact, it turned out that the steel wool was actually burning in there and making it worse. I realized that even with the covering, the bugs that were landing on the outside were still being cooked and seemed to be the source of the smoke. I ended up sidelining this project for several months to work on other things. Alright, it's been something like 5 months since I've last powered up this bulb. The reason why is right there. Those 400 car batteries have taken up my entire life. But not to distract you, I have made more improvements to this fixture. So the big one is I replaced the steel wool with copper wool, so hopefully that doesn't catch on fire. Then also I realized that the rare earth magnets I had holding this together
were probably gonna, exceed their Curie temperature, so I replaced them with ferrite. So yeah, hopefully the fixture doesn't burn this time. Guess we're about to find out whether it was really just bugs or something else in the fixture. Anything smoking yet? Oh no, there's smoke again. What's going on? No. Maybe they'll burn out. Maybe just remnant bugs, right? Okay, there's the full power. Okay, what's going on here? There's some smoke. Oh my gosh, it's so bright I can't see. I don't know how much smoke I need to be worried about. There's smoking more and more and more, isn't it? Well, there's smoke, so I don't know how I want to proceed here. So I want to rip off all those bug covers because I think that's what's actually smoking. So I was going to fire up this metal halide bulb to see if there's any bugs out because it's pretty cold. I just wanted to make sure. However, the dumb thing does not want to seem to turn on. If I could find this plug. So it's plugged in and it will not light. So this is, I'm going to try lighting it this way. Yep, look at that. Perfect. Oh, I love that. And yeah, as you can see from all the just disgusting coating on that bulb, it clearly does not mind having insects run into it. But yeah, that is one good way to light a stubborn light bulb there. So yeah, now I'm gonna see if any bugs come to this, and if not, then I will feel safe pulling off the cover of the light bulb over there. Oh, that's a vibe, isn't it? Oh yeah, I should point out that this is not a normal metal halide. That's a thallium lamp, and that is why it is so green. Yeah, so far it looks like there's not any bugs. If they don't come to that lamp, then they're probably not out. Yeah, there's nothing around the lamp. Okay. I think I'm good. Well, I don't know why copper would be smoking like that unless it has like some sort of coating on it, but either way, I'm gonna rip off this like bug protector and see if this stupid lamp keeps smoking. Alright, now I'm gonna try it without this cover. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna be very annoyed. There's so many weird noises that come from every part of this. My meter's making sounds, the light bulb's making sounds. Even like my light fixtures in my house make sound when this is running because of how awful that circuit is for chopping the sine wave. Okay. There's 80. I don't see smoke yet. No, there's smoke again. Why is there smoke? What is smoking? What is smoking in there? That is so stupid. This is infuriating. It's just billowing out smoke. Stupid. I'm realizing now that it might actually just be the galvanization on the steel, just the zinc plating that's burning off. I didn't think it would get that hot, but that might be the culprit. Might have to strip off all the zinc then. Have I mentioned that I'm annoyed yet? Because I am annoyed yet. So I think zinc is the culprit here, so I'm going to give it a quick bath in hydrochloric acid. Yummy. So funny story, I remember a time when I was 14 going through the checkout line at Walmart with airsoft BBs and a gallon of hydrochloric acid. Well, I put my stuff on the counter and the cashier scans the airsoft BBs and she's like, oh, well, you have to be 16 to buy these. Do you have your ID with you? I'm like, no. So she's like, oh, well, I can't sell these to you, and then sets them aside. But then she scans the acid, doesn't say anything, and I pay and walk out the door with a gallon of hydrochloric acid. You know, it's funny how corporations have to decide what is and isn't too dangerous for children. I guess hydrochloric acid is just A-okay. So I pulled this thing out of the acid bath, and it immediately started rusting, so I'm going to say that's probably a good sign that I got rid of all the zinc there. I'm still going to torch it a little bit just to be totally sure it's all gone, though. Well, I really hope this time is the charm, because I'm sick of rebuilding this thing. Alrighty, who's ready for another round of disappointment? Let's light her up, see what happens. No smoke yet? Okay. Why is it smoking? Why is it smoking? What on earth is smoking? What? I just... Ugh. Is it this stupid reflector? What is going on? Just what is smoking on this piece of garbage? I torched the aluminum reflector on there just to get rid of any grease or whatever. I did that to the whole fixture actually before, you know, a few iterations ago. I just cannot figure this out. Guess I could remove the reflector and see what happens. It is the fixture. Why is the fixture smoking? There's probably still, even after the acid bath, probably didn't get into those tiny little crevices. Slowly but surely, it is winding down. Yeah, I think that's good. I see no more evidence of smoke. I think whatever was burning in there got cooked out. And I still think it actually was the zinc. Okay. Okay, so I think that's the best I'm gonna get. Now, let's see if it quits smoking. Alright, no smoke yet. It is at full power. There's smoke again! Now what is possibly smoking? So the reflector smokes too then. And it keeps getting worse. No! This is so infuriating. I ended up just letting it bake out for a while and decided to go ahead with the burning experiments after the smoke diminished. Okay, so it's so bright. It's so hot too. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need something better than these goggles, but it's like staring at way more than the sun. So maybe if I get off to the side, I do want to try. Oh my gosh, I do want to try a piece of paper. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't see anything. Where is that? Oh. Oh yeah, there it goes. Oh jeez. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that, but it's definitely on fire. Yeah, not exactly a laser, but you know, with a laser, the power's all concentrated, even if the raw power isn't that high. But with something like this, it's just raw power. That's all there is. That's fun. Now, what else could I burn here? You know, I think one of these laser welding helmets is my best bet to actually see what's going on up here. Although it is still absurdly bright, but now I can at least see what I'm doing with this thing. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Beautiful fire. Okay, what else can I light on fire here? Or at least cook. Oh yeah, a plastic bag looks like fun. What'll happen to this? Alright, I got a plastic bag here. Get up to this portable. Oh, it just shrinks. I wish you could see that on video. Oh, it's close. I mean, it's shrinking, it's smoking, but it's not exactly... It's not on fire yet. It's probably going to melt before it catches on fire, yeah. It just shrinks into nothing. Maybe I can get like a side view. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. It's melting... It's melting the aluminum! What? Shoot! Look at this! Ah! No! No! I can't believe this! I gotta kill the power! You've got to be kidding me! Ah. No! No! Look at that! That is bonkers! Well, that is a slight issue, I would say. I don't know what I'm going to do to fix this. Maybe I'll space the bulb differently in there so this aluminum isn't so close to it on the back. Look at that. I can't believe that happened. At least it didn't like drip all over everything. That could have been bad. Alrighty, for the next iteration, I have scooted this whole fixture back. That way the back of the new reflector is a little bit further spaced from the filament, and it's less than ideal, but maybe it'll buy me more time. So let's fire her back up. Well, I guess while I let this fixture burn in, I guess I can see if this thing can, you know, cook cardboard. See what we can do here. Oh yeah. It's getting toasty. It's just brute force, complete brute force here. Yeah. Just burns it on the face. That's insane. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get this to show up on camera at all. Because yeah, you can see it just instantly scorches it. Now, obviously, the closer I get, the more toasty it gets. Wow. Yeah, there you go. It's so cool how it can just light the face of it like that. Whatever. So I wanted to mention something about the exposure here. So it's not just this little area that's being lit up. Oh no. The light goes way back there. It's lighting up the whole forest. So yeah, just incredible amount of light coming from this thing. You know, there really is no good way to get this to show up well on camera, but anyway, I'm still going to try these plastic bags. Oh yeah, it just instantly melts them. It shrinks them. Delicious molten plastic. Mmm. Oh no. Oh, that's lovely. Here I've got a CD case that I've already shot some holes in with a laser long ago. See how it holds up to the to this thing. Oh, it's smoking and warping. Wow, it's already molten, folded in half. Oh, it's getting all. Yeah, there it goes. I made all these like hairs of plastic. I know it's basically impossible for anything to show up on camera, but I'm still maybe. Oh, yeah, so that was newspaper and just instantly lit on fire, lighting the whole yard on fire. And then of course I've got the ping pong ball here. I don't know if it's actually gonna hold up. I mean, this one is white, so it's obviously not very absorptive. Oh, it is getting melty. It is getting melty at least. Yes, it did. It lit on fire. No way. I'm impressed by that one. I guess, I mean, if it can melt aluminum, then maybe I shouldn't be so shocked. But wow, that's cool. What else can I light on fire? We've got some delicious plastic foam here, packing foam. Even out here, it's already burning. Shrinks into just this little thing. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so this is the thermometer that sits on the wall, and you can see how it's all screwy. It's like broken. So let's see if I can see how hot this light bulb is with this. Can I get it in here? Oh, yeah, it's already at the edge. Well, maybe I can get it to show. Can you see that? Oh, yep, there it went. Ha, rip. So yeah, it's clearly a bit toasty in there. All right, let's see what it does to a candle here. Yeah, it's certainly liquefying. Ah, it gets so slippery once it's molten like that. You know, I'm realizing now that this thing is basically the world's most powerful easy bake oven. So I'm kind of curious what happens if I try cooking food with it. Okay, I think s'mores will be relatively easy to make, so I think this is going to be the first thing I try to cook. And I'm going to start with this chocolate here because I think it'll be the easiest. So I'm sure it won't take long. Yeah, it's already melting. Mmm, delicious. It's hard to hold on because it's getting so liquidy. Oh geez, oh. Okay, so the chocolate is clearly ready. So let's move this up here. Now we're gonna get the marshmallow. Marshmallow might be a bit harder because it's it's white. Oh, it's so hard to hold this. It's getting so hot. Jeez. Maybe if I can get it from the side, I won't light my hand on fire. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, oh yeah, there's the smoke.
think I'll call that ready. Oh yeah, that is very melted. Okay, now the cheese is going to be hard because it takes a lot more to melt cheese. Yeah, it's sizzling. Okay. There you go. Yeah, it's starting to boil actually. Okay, I think I can finally assemble. I don't know if you can see how melted everything is here. I can't even assemble it because it's falling apart. This is ridiculous. I think I overdid the power a bit, but let's give this a try. That's really good. Yeah, it kind of lacks the smoky flavor of a campfire, but it's still nice, like homogeneously heated. Compared to a laser, it's better than a laser. You know, it feels like standing next to like 20 campfires. So I don't know if you can see this, but I have a bag of popcorn here. I think that this is going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be, trying to find the middle ground between actually popping it and, of course, lighting it on fire. So I guess I'll try finding that middle ground then. Oh, it's smoking a lot. And all the oil is like wanting to drip down, I think. It's just... Oh, it caught on fire. Well, maybe I need to try that again. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to be more gentle this time around. Okay, don't light on fire. Do not light on fire. Lit on fire again. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna work. Okay. Well, what else can I cook? Okay, I got a hot dog this time. I mean, it's pretty hard to screw up a hot dog, right? So let's give this thing a cooking. Gosh, even having my hand outside of like the beam, just the fixture is so hot. It's hard to hold my hand there. Okay, I imagine that's enough, right? Let's give this a try. Ooh, it's still toasty though. Let's see here. Oh yeah, yummy. That was a good corpse tube. Oh yeah, that chocolate there is still very molten, just sitting here in the periphery. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to try cooking, and that's bacon here. I don't want to get too carried away, so I'm just going to cook this single Mobius strip of bacon here. Oh, it's going to get grease all over that window. Gross. Ooh, yummy. I think that is done. Look at that. Just wanted to showcase that beauty. Beautifully done. It's absolute perfection. Chef's kiss. Alrighty, moment of truth. It's pretty good. It's awfully chocolatey. Just because that chocolate just got on those tongs and got on everything. But yummy, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think I'm satisfied now with what this thing can cook. Cause yeah, I'm gonna get burned doing this much more. For the final experiment, I want to push the lamp all the way to 30,000 watts. And I'll do this by simply cranking up the voltage. Now, of course, this isn't going to be good for the lamp, but will it immediately explode? Well, I hope not. It's no surprise that running a light bulb past its rated voltage will decrease its lifespan. But how bad is it exactly? You may have heard that a candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. But when it comes to light bulbs, it's far worse than this. There's a derating equation that predicts how long a light bulb will last when it's overdriven. And it's interesting because it contains this astonishing 13th power relationship, which is by far the highest I've seen for anything related to engineering. Now this means that just slight variations in voltage and thus power will cause massive changes in the expected lifetime. My giant light bulb is only rated for 150 hours of lifetime at its rated voltage. Now when driven at 30 kilowatts, that should drop to about 22 hours. Not great, not terrible.
Now on the flip side, underdriving a light bulb can make it last far longer. So for example, this light bulb right here is rated for 1,000 hours of lifetime. Now if I decrease the voltage by 5%, it'll last twice as long. By 10%, 4 times as long. Now if I drive it at half voltage, it'll last 1,000 years. Well, at least based on tungsten evaporation. You may have seen stories about a light bulb that's been running for over a century, often in the context that they don't make things like they used to. While I still find something like this cool, it's no secret how this happened. The bulb is barely turned on. Alright, it's finally time to drive the ever-living daylights out of the light bulb. Now I could use a transformer to raise the voltage, but the problem with that is that one that's actually rated for the power would have to be bigger than this thing. So instead, I'm going to use this relatively little auto transformer. The cool thing about auto transformers is that it's only the difference in voltage that's being transformed. The mains voltage passes straight through. And that's why I can use something the size of this to do the job of something bigger than this. Well, sort of. This thing is really only about half the size it should be, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, I've got this thing wired up here. I've got to say, it is pretty funny to see such thin wire connected to much thicker wire, but that's the magic of using this thing as an auto transformer. But even so, this is still a bit undersized, but that is fine as long as I keep the run times fairly short. Alrighty, I've got the bulb out in the yard there, and it is time to push this thing to 30,000 watts. So, let's start the whole process here. Just barely glowing at 50 amps. Never gets old. Here we are at 60. Almost there. Oh, it still has a while to go, and it's already at 100. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's going off the scale. Oh, it's off the scale. Oh, I'm still going. Still going. Okay. Wow. Okay. There is the full 30,000 watts. Wow. That is very, very bright. I can feel some of the warmth all the way back here. Jeez. Look at that. Off the scale. It's probably pulling something like 110, 115 amps, I would guess. Ah, I could just soak it in all day. This is so nice. I mean, it's barely above freezing out right now, but in front of this lamp, it's like a warm summer's day right in the sun. Ah, this is great. Can it burn without the reflector on front? I want to get crap all over. Yes, I'll take that as a yes. I want to get garbage all over the bare bulb, but very much so. It's really hard to capture just how much light is coming off of this thing, because everything is illuminated. The trees just way out in the distance are just, it's crazy the amount of illumination. I can go way back there and it's still so bright. So I do want to see one thing here, so I'm going to go inside my shop. I just want to see what it looks like coming through the windows. Yeah. So look at this. So there's no lights on in the shop, and just that little thing that comes through the window there is enough to illuminate everything. I can see everything just fine, just from the little amount that's coming through the window. Wow. Look at that. That is ridiculous. I can see everything so well. I wanted to get this aerial view here. You can see all that light making it way back there. That's incredible. You have to get further back. But man, this is so cool. I would have never imagined that I would have so much fun with an incandescent light bulb. It's just an incandescent light bulb. It just happens to be really powerful. Yeah, that should be about 1 million lumens from that bulb. Even back here, this is just like scattered light. It's just scattered light. It's still illuminating all of it. Looks so nice with the fall colors. Man, you cannot beat tungsten for the color rendering. It is an ideal white light source because it's purely thermal. course, it's not efficient that way, but it's just unbeatable. Lovely still water there. You don't get many nights like this in fall. You know, I'm trying to get to the distance where I no longer be able to read a book, but still have a ways to go. There's still plenty of light back here. I can easily read a book in this kind of lighting. There's still so much more to go. You know, I keep walking back, and the light still keeps on spreading through. Finally getting to the point where it is getting dim, but of course that's just because the trees are simply blocking it. Looks like there are some deer staring at the light bulb. There's still a stray light making its way back here. Oh, I can even see the deer. Yeah, this is where, so I think this is 225 yards, because that's where I remember doing the laser turret video here. Look at that, there's still, like, I could read it. I could read in this light. I could read in this light, absolutely. Just incredible that for a 360-degree illumination, it comes all the way back here. Through the trees and everything. Like, look at that. I could easily read in that light. Easily. Oh, talk about a still night. Still just a few crickets going, even though it's just barely above freezing. Wonder what the critters in the trees think of this. Like my squirrel friend. I wonder if they think it's daylight. Looks like the coyotes like this.
I wanted to make some comments before I end this video, and the first in particular is regarding the incandescent light bulb ban. So when I started making this video at the beginning of the year, there was this executive order that claimed it was going to rescind some energy saving regulations, including those around light bulbs. Well, it turns out that this was pretty much legally meaningless, and incandescent light bulbs are still banned. Now, I will say that I do think that a ban on incandescent light bulbs is dumb. It's not that I think you should all replace the bulbs in your house with them, but there are still specific use cases for them, and I at least want to have the option to buy them. Now, the real kicker is that big light bulbs like this were never even banned in the first place. They were actually exempt because they have these specific use cases where there's no direct replacement that's energy saving. So there's actually a couple industries that like using these giant light bulbs. The film industry is one. I know they like them because they're a compact and powerful light source, but specifically they like them because the color rendering is just unbeatable. I know there's LEDs these days that come really, really close, but apparently there are still purists out there that want the best you can get, which is tungsten. Then I guess the other big application is just for research stuff. These function as really good solar simulators, which shouldn't be a surprise. So yeah, they get used in research projects as well. The final point I want to bring up is the real inspiration for this video, and that's Photonic Induction's video on a 20,000 watt light bulb. Now, if you don't know who Photonic Induction is, he's an electrical legend on YouTube, and he's actually my biggest inspiration as a content creator. So when I saw that I could buy a bigger light bulb than what he showed in his video, I knew I had to do it, just because it is not very often that I can beat Photonic Induction at anything. Now, unfortunately, he hasn't posted any videos in years, but he did tease that he's going to be coming back soon. So yeah, you should definitely check out his channel if you haven't already. He's made some just really good videos.
One final thing. In my last video, I made rubies with my giant handheld laser and offered some for sale as my first merch offering. Since then, I've done lots of experimenting growing rubies and other sapphires. With the rubies, I found that I get better color by lowering the dopant concentration, which makes them pinker while still giving the same bright fluorescence. These rubies look super nice when set into silver jewelry, which I now offer as merch on top of the bare rubies. If you're interested in buying my laser rubies and laser ruby jewelry, check out the link below. You can find the other kind of laser rubies there too, that is, rubies grown for use in lasers, as well as many other cool scientific gemstones. Well, that's about all I have for you today. So until the next time, stay safe and happy illuminating.